Following Khamzat Chimaev's huge victory over Dricus Duplessis at UFC 319, we've got some things to sort out in the middleweight division. In this video right here, we're going to break it all down. The new news that Fluffy Hernandez is taking on RDR, Reinier de Ridder, the guy who just beat up on Robert Whittaker not too long ago, and Fluffy himself beat up on Roman de Ridder not too long ago himself. So let's get into it right now, break it all down, give you a little tale of tape, a little bit of breakdown on what's going on in the middleweight division. Who's the next contender? Who's going to make a statement over the next couple of weeks? Let's get it all wrapped up and tied up in a nice little bow to finish this off. Cap off 2025, go into 2026 with a new title challenger for Khamzat Chimaev. Anyway, we'll get into it right now. Of course, Dana White breaking the news on Instagram. UFC Vancouver, the headliner, is going to be Reinier de Ridder versus Fluffy Hernandez. The rest of the card looking absolutely stacked. Usually Canada has some lackluster cards, but this time around they've got an absolutely stacked main card. We've got Jasmine Vicious, of course, Mike Malik, Kevin Holland on there, Cheeto Vera versus Amin Zahabi. I mean, they got all the biggest and brightest names coming out of Canada right now. There's not a lot of them, but they're all going to be on this card, and it's not a pay-per-view this time, so the fight night event actually fits with what's going on with the card. Anyway, Reinier de Ridder fighting out of the Netherlands. This guy's 21-2 overall, of course, former one championship champion, double champion. I mean, this guy's done it all in sports. 6'4", 34 years old. I mean, this guy's been an absolute monster, tearing through the UFC division like we did not expect this guy would. Of course, of all the guys coming over from one championship, from Bellator, from PFL, from Cage Warriors, all these other different divisions, different promotions, that is, we didn't think that this guy was going to run all over these guys. I mean, Gerald Mearshart, of course, he gets the upset win over there. Not the upset, but the comeback win, excuse me. Kevin Holland gets the win there. Of course, that wasn't too crazy. Bo Nickel, we thought, oh, Bo Nickel's hard charging up and comer. Can Reinier de Ridder get it done against the wrestler? This isn't a good matchup for Reinier, but it was. It was a perfect matchup for him. Used the knees, used the damage in the clinch, finished Bo Nickel, and then did the exact same thing to Robert Whittaker. Who was expecting that? Not this guy, not me, not at all. I mean, lost to Anatoly Malkin. Of course, that guy's a heavyweight. He's likely, no allegations, just allegedly, nothing serious, but just allegedly, Anatoly Malkin probably juiced up, as they are allowed to do over one championship. Reinier de Ridder is a massive middleweight. Looks like, how the heck does this guy even cut down to 185? And this is going to be a fourth time this year making that weight. That is absolutely outstanding. Absolutely what fans want to see. Active fighters, no matter what. This is what we want to see. We like Reinier de Ridder. We like what he is developing into and what he's becoming, because he's staying after getting in there and fighting the good fight, right? And Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I mean, this guy's been an absolute tear in the middleweight division himself for years. Of course, coming off of that loss to Kevin Holland, who's going to be on that Canada card, on the undercard, the guy who got the win over this guy, the last guy to beat Anthony Hernandez, going to be in the undercard of his fight. Of course, he's 15-2, one no contest. His current win streak, 8 wins in a row in the UFC after that loss to Kevin Holland. Of course, he did pretty well in the LFA and the regional scene there, but Roman de Ridder, Brendan Allen, Michel Pereira, Roman Kopylov, Edwin Shabazi, Marc-Andre Barriel, Josh Frem, Rodolfo Vieira. I mean, absolutely crazy what this guy has been through. He has fought the who's who of the lower rankings of the middleweight division. He's now trying to cement his spot and try to grab that title shot with a fantastic finish over Reinier de Ridder. Can he do it? That's the question, because Khamzat Chimaev, he is your champion right now. This guy looked like an absolute monster in there. Of course, the fight was very, very lackluster when it comes to entertainment value. But of course, as a fan, as a hardcore fan, you can still call that fight boring, but it was still a dominant victory nonetheless. Of course, Kyle Bahalio, though, and Imavov, they'll be facing off not too far away, right? This will be September 6th, just a couple weeks away. So whoever comes out of these two fights, of course, Imavov, Bahalio, and then Reinier de Ridder, Fluffy Hernandez, whoever comes out of these two fights looking the most impressive, because if you ask me, if it's purely meritocracy based, you're looking at Imavov, Bahalio, but these two guys don't have the best profiles, don't have the best popularity. Reinier de Ridder and Fluffy Hernandez, these are two of those, dark horses, kind of fan favorites, hardcore fans delight right here. Whoever makes a statement out of these four guys is going to get the title shot early 2026. I do not think Khamzat Chimaev is going to make that quick turnaround for Abu Dhabi, October 25th, end of October, UFC 321. Don't know if that's going to happen, but what do you guys think of the news? Reinier de Ridder, Fluffy Hernandez, doesn't look like Khamzat's going to be making that quick turnaround, but Imavov, Bahalio, who deserves it in your opinion? Who do you think is going to win between these two fights? Should these two fights happen, the four fighters clash, and then ultimately the winners of these two matches face off in the inevitable, or I should say not inevitable, because listen, we're not Khamzat haters here. We can call him boring after that last victory, but if he falls to some kind of injury, if some kind of sickness befalls him, could the two winners of these fights be facing off? Just to clarify that for you, a little bit of a mistake, bumbling over my words there, but that is what it is. What do you guys think of all these matchups, all the outcomes? Middleweight getting very, very interesting. Of course, we've got some more news coming our way soon. Let me know what you guys think about this all in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.